Hello everyone, hope you all are good and hope that you have studied the previous lecture properly, in which we have done illustration 8 and sum number 9 from exercise, of course, from chapter 4 part 1, which is journal. Yes, and today we are going to continue with the same chapter with new illustrations and new sums, of course. Yes, so this is the first part of 20th lecture, and let us see what we are going to do in today's lecture. It is firstly illustration 9, which is given on page number 76, and then we are going to do illustration 10, which is given on page number 78. Yes? Illustration 9 in your textbook on page number 76. Prior to this, there is an explanation and there is an heading about transactions of revenue and expense. Each and every illustration that we have solved consists of different kind of transactions. Yes, like we have understood transactions of bank, transactions of capital and drawings, then transactions about loan and its interest, etc., etc. So the illustration that we are going to start today consists of the transactions of revenue and expense. That is income and expense, simply speaking. Yes. So different type of expenses take place during accounting period of business. Which is the accounting period of business? The accounting year. Yes, which starts on 1st of April, ends on 31st of March. And at the same time, different types of revenues also take place. So, as per the rule of nominal account, what is the rule of nominal account? Expenses and loss are debited and incomes and gains are credited. We have understood about types of accounts in second chapter. Further, we have also learned the rules of accounts. Yes. So, from that, the rule pertaining to nominal account, which says expenses and losses are debited and incomes and gains are credited. That rule is to be kept in mind while solving illustration 9, which we are going to start in today's lecture. Yes. Further, they say to operate business, certain day-to-day expenses like paper, pencil, rubber, ink, pens, statements, register, etc. are sundry items of office and are required. So they are known as stationery. Painting work, repairing, etc. are maintenance expenses. Besides this, salary, wages, telephone expense, etc. are also regular expenses of business. So in this para, they are talking about the expenses of business. Sundry expenses of business like tea, refreshment, hospitality expense or other entertainment expenses are debited to sundry expense account. So these type of expenses come under the heading of sundry expense. Incomes like interest received, commission, rent, brokerage and dividend are regular incomes of business. So in short, the illustration that we are going to do today is about the transactions of revenue and expense. Alright? And the rule of nominal account, which says debit all expenses and loss, credit all incomes and gains, is to be kept in mind while solving this transaction. While solving this illustration. Yes. So let us have a look. Illustration 9, which is given on page number 76 in your textbook. I am talking about the textbook as per new syllabus, which consists of GST in it. So it is chapter 4. Many of you might be having the textbook of old syllabus. So in that, chapter 3 is journal. But right now we are dealing with a new textbook. So chapter 4, journal, page number 76. Let us read the question. Record the following transactions in the journal of Arun Parekh. So Arun Parekh is the owner. And 2014, 1st of August. So the very first thing that you are supposed to do is you will prepare the format of journal. If you want to write down the journal entries right now, you should be ready with the format of journal. As I've instructed well in advance that you should always be ready with the format of journal whenever you watch the video lectures, so that you can write down the journal entries along with me. And if not, if you want to write them down later, then you can watch the lecture on repeat mode. You can pause, you can write down the journal entry, and you can continue further. And one more thing, as this is illustration, the solution for this is given to the very next page. So you can also see that solution as per my words. I will dictate the journal entries and you can match the journal entries over there. Alright, so there are ample of options. You can choose the option of your choice. Alright, so once you are done with the preparation of journal, the very first thing that you will write is 2014, August 1st. The transaction says, for business, books of accounts purchased rupees 650. So books of accounts have been purchased for business. Books come under the category of stationery, of course. Yes? So the books have been purchased comes under the stationery expense. And books have been purchased. That means obviously cash goes out. You need to pay for books. It's not available for free. So firstly, stationery expense account debit 650. Why? Because books of accounts comes under the category of stationery expense, and expense is to be debited as per the rule of nominal account. So stationery expense account debit 650 to cash account. Cash goes out. So your journal entry is stationery expense account debit 650 to cash account 650 again. I'm dictating slowly because if you want to write, then you can. Narration, of course, you can write it on your own by now. Being stationery of rupees 650 is purchased. Narration आपको खुद से ही लिखना होता है. So I will not dictate narration in each and every transaction. Yes, the next on 2nd of August. Wages of rupees 200 and carriage of rupees 100 paid in cash. Paid in cash is a cash transaction. So out of the two effects, that is debit and credit, one is of cash. And of course, if it is paid, then cash is credited because at the time of payment, cash always goes out. So overall 300 cash goes out of the business, of which 200 is for wages and 100 for carriage. So wages and carriage, both of them are the expense for business. So wages account debit 200, carriage account debit 100. Both of these are expenses and hence are debited as per the rule of nominal account. Debit all expenses and losses. So wages account debit 200, carriage account debit 100, to cash account 300. Overall 300 cash goes out. Next, on 8th of August, it says commission received rupees 800. Received is an income. If it was paid, then it was expense. If it is received, it is an income. And income is to be credited as per the rule of nominal account. And what is received? Commission. This is a cash transaction. So cash comes in. Debit, what comes in? So on 8th of August, the journal entry, cash account debit 800, cash account debit 800, to commission account 800. Firstly, commission is your income and hence it has been credited, and commission obviously is received in cash. The amount of commission is received. The word received indicates that it is a cash transaction. So cash account debit, cash comes in 800 to commission account. Commission income credited. Next, paid rupees 2500 for painting work of shop. We've just understood that here in second para, second line, painting work, repairing are maintenance expense. So painting work is a maintenance expense and the word paid indicates the transaction is cash transaction. So 2500 has been paid, cash goes out, credit what goes out, and painting work is maintenance expense. So the journal entry, maintenance expense account debit 2500 to cash account 2500. Expenses are to be debited as per the rule of nominal account, and cash goes out, credit what goes out. So moving towards the next transaction on 20th of August, it says light bill of rupees 1800 paid by check. Here the word check is involved and paid by check. That means bank is giver. Bank will be credited. Light bill is an expense and hence the journal entry for this is, you can also check it on page number 77 in your textbook on 20th of August. Electricity expense account debit 1800 to bank account 1800 again. Yes? Light bill can also be considered as electricity expense account. It is an expense, hence it has been debited and the payment is by check. That means bank is the giver. बैंक से पैसे जाएंगे. किसके बैंक से? हमारे बैंक अकाउंट से. हम कौन हैं? We are Arun Parekh. Next, rupees 1200 paid for refreshment at inaugural function of shop. Now, refreshment expenses come under the heading of sundry expense. That also we have understood in the beginning of this chapter. In the last para, I think. Yes. Sundry expenses of business like tea, refreshment, hospitality, etc. etc. So 1200 paid for refreshment will be debited to sundry expense account. As per the rule of nominal account, all the expenses are to be debited, and hence refreshment expense, considering it as sundry expense, will be debited. Sundry expense account debit 1200 to cash account paid. Whenever the word paid is given in the transaction, it always indicates the outflow of cash, the payment of cash, and whenever the cash is paid is always credited. Real account, credit what goes out. Alright. Next, a check of rupees 900 received for brokerage. Now a check is received. If you will see transaction number 20, on 20th of August, it says the light bill has been paid by check, and on 30th of August a check is received. So whenever amount is paid by a check, bank is to be credited. Whenever a check is received, like if we are talking about a transaction on 30th of August, during that time, bank account is to be debited. Why it is to be debited? Because the check is received. हमारे अकाउंट में चेक आया, सो बैंक में पैसे आए. कौन से बैंक में, कौन से बैंक अकाउंट में? बिजनेस बैंक अकाउंट. यस, सो बैंक अकाउंट डेबिट 900. So 900 rupees is received for what? Obviously it is received for brokerage. Yes. So bank account debit to brokerage account. Brokerage is received and hence brokerage is an income, and income is to be credited as per the rule of nominal account. Just the way you debit all the expenses, all the incomes are to be credited. Yes. So finally the journal entry for this is bank account debit 900 to brokerage account 900 again. So moving towards the last transaction of illustration 9, it says a currency note of rupees 50 eaten by goat. Now see, this is a different type of transaction. This is of course a loss. 50 rupee note has been eaten by goat. Yes. So this is sundry expense. Obviously it will not happen again and again. Yes. So sundry expense account debit 50, and of course rupees 50 cash goes out. Credit what goes out. Yes. So this is considered as sundry expense. Sundry expense account debit 50 rupees to cash account 50 rupees again. Yes. So here we finish illustration 9. You will write it down in your fair book. You will also total the columns of debit and credit, and you will let me know in case if you have any sort of doubts. So moving towards the next illustration, which is illustration 10, you can please keep your book open with you. Textbook I'm talking about. The illustration is given on page number 78. It is having only 3 transactions, but it is very important to understand. The concept is about bad dates and bad dates recovered. So firstly, let us have a little bit of introduction about the same so that we can solve the given transactions easily. Now understand. You are the owner of the business and you sell goods to your customers on credit. By now, I think you know what does a credit transaction mean. Yes, whenever goods are sold on credit, what does that mean? That simply means that you have sold goods on credit and the amount will be received later in future. But you see, sometimes it does happen that one of your customers or few of your customers, like anyone, who will fail to pay the amount. Yes, you have to give them several notices, several reminders that your amount is due and you are supposed to pay. We had a word that you will pay after a month, after a week, after 2 months, 6 months. Yes, this way you decide with your daters. Now sometimes it does happen that the person is not able to pay. The dater will not pay the amount. Yes, and that is loss for you. Yes, loss for it is a business loss. Yes, so that loss is considered as bad dates. The dates which are not received, the amount that is not received comes under the category of bad dates. So the transactions pertaining to that are given in the current illustration, which is illustration 10. Now sometimes it also happens that the person who did not pay will pay in future. Right now, if some of your debtor becomes insolvent is financially incapable. Yes. So that person is not able to pay you the amount that was due. वो आपके पैसे रिटर्न नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. So what did you do? You have written that this much amount is not recovered from so and so person. You have written this in your books of accounts and you have closed that person's account. You have written that yes, now this person is not going to pay. So उनका account close कर दीजिए और ये loss है ऐसा दिखा दीजिए कि इतने पैसे recover नहीं हुए. But later it might happen that the person will pay in future. Then it is bad dates recovered. It is considered as income at that time. Alright? So that's all, and now we can start with illustration 10. You can also read the introduction which is given prior to illustration 10 in your textbook, of course on page number 78. Record the following transactions in Journal of Prerna. Illustration 10. I repeat, record the following transactions in Journal of Prerna. 2014, March 1st. Vishal is declared insolvent. Thus, amount due to him, rupees 2000, cannot be recovered. Now, Vishal is a person from whom Prerna is supposed to receive an amount, and because Vishal is declared insolvent, hope you know the meaning for the word insolvent. And so, Vishal will not pay 2000 rupees. Now, who is Vishal? Vishal is a debtor. That means basically Vishal is having debit balance. Now, he will not pay. So, his account will be credited, his account will be closed, and it will be shown that this is the loss and bad dates account will be debited. Let us see the journal entry for this. Yes, 2014, 1st of March, as I have said that you are supposed to you are supposed to prepare the format of journal at a very first step, and in that you will write down all the journal entries. So you can see Vishal, who is not able to pay 2000 rupees, and so bad dates account debit 2000 is written, and Vishal's account has been credited. Bad dates account debit 2000 to Vishal account 2000. Being since Vishal declared insolvent, rupees 2000 was due from him are written off. That simply means that now Vishal will not be able to pay 2000 rupees due from him. And so this is a loss. This kind of loss is termed as bad dates, and all the loss and expense as per the rule of nominal account is to be debited, and hence bad dates account has been debited. Vishal's account has been credited and his account is closed. Okay. Alright, let us see the next transaction. Rupees 3000 was due from Paran. That means 3000 you were supposed to receive from Param. He became insolvent, and only 1800 are recovered. A balance amount is written off. Param is our debtor. We are supposed to receive 3000 rupees from him. He became insolvent and he will be able to pay only 1800. So the balance amount is written off. What is the balance amount? 3000 minus 1800. Balance amount is 1200. 1800 will be received. Remaining 1200 will not be received. So 1800 cash comes in. Remaining 1200 is loss, which cannot be recovered from Param. So bad dates account debit 1200 to Param account 3000. Param is the giver of 1800 rupees. Param is responsible for bad dates that have taken place. Yes. So overall, Param's account has been closed by 3000 by crediting him. out of which cash rupees 1800 has been debited because debit what comes in, and remaining 1200 they say is to be written off because it is loss. Param will not be able to pay 1200 rupees because he became insolvent. Alright. So the journal entry is cash account debit 1800, bad dates account debit 1200, to Param account 3000. Alright. Being rupees 3000 which was due from Param, he became insolvent and only rupees 1800 are recovered from him and balance amount is written off. Only 1800 are recovered, that means remaining 1200 is loss. Yes? Next and last. Rupees 1500 previously written off as bad dates of Rohan are received. See, whenever a shareholder becomes insolvent, becomes incapable of payment, yes, his account is credited and is closed. So I said in the very beginning of this illustration while giving introduction about bad dates and bad dates recovered, that whenever the previously written off amount is recovered, it is considered as an income and is termed as bad date recovered. Yes? So the journal entry for this is, see, they say 1500 is received. 1500 which was written off as bad dates previously. So now cash comes in. Cash account debit 1500 to bad dates return account 1500. You can also write it as bad dates recovered account. Alright? Because it is your income, it is to be credited. Because you were not expecting 1500 and they are now paid by Rohan. So it is your income and cash comes in. So debit what comes in? Cash account debit, cash comes in, and bad dates recovered is your income. Income is to be credited as per the rule of nominal account. Being rupees 1500 were previously written off are recorded. Alright. So that's all. Here we also complete illustration 10, which was very short. The total of debit and credit column of journal is identical as always, which is 6,500 rupees. So in today's lecture, we have understood about the transactions of revenue and expense and also about bad dates and bad dates recovered. So for sure, you are going to do illustration 9 as well as illustration 10 in your fair book with narration. And the pattern that we always follow is that we are doing illustrations and then we are doing the sums of similar kind from exercise. Yes? So sums pertaining to this illustration, that is illustration 9 and illustration 10, are obviously given in your exercise that we are going to start and we are going to complete in the second part of lecture 20. Alright? Till then, solve illustration 9 and 10, go through thoroughly, write it down in your fair books, and then we can solve the sums of similar kind from the exercise. Yes? So we'll see you in the second part of 20th lecture soon. Till then, stay home, stay safe and study well.